Is
Going.
Thank you. Told everyone. The Balaturim notes in this week's parsha that Moshe Rabbeinu's name does not appear, and that this is the only parsha in the Torah from the beginning of Shmos to the end where Moshe's name doesn't appear. Doesn't appear in Parshas Nitzavim either, but we usually read Nitzavim Vayelech together. So in Vayelech, Moshe's name does appear. So what is that significance? So the Gaon of Vilna says there are different, many different ideas advanced here. The Gaon of Vilna says a practical thing. He says that usually in a Shona Pshuta, the Parsha of Tetzaveh is read during the week of Zayin Adar, which is the day of the death of Moshe. So that this is a remez in the Torah that Moshe departed. Moshe isn't here because this week is his yortzeit, Zayin Adar. There's the Balaturim himself advances a different idea on which I want to dwell a little. In next week's parsha, we have the parsha that of the Egel, the golden calf, and Moshe begs for forgiveness from heaven that the Jewish people should not be destroyed because of the great sin. And Moshe presents, so to speak, an ultimatum to heaven. He says, if you don't forgive them, v'mayin, if you don't forgive them, mecheni no mesifrecha asher kosafta. Erase me from the book that you have written. I'm out. And the Ravona Shalom answers him, I'll erase who I want to erase, etc. But that's the statement of Moshe, which is exemplary of the great love that he had for the Jewish people, that he's willing to sacrifice himself on their behalf. So the Balaturim says that's in Parshas Kisisa. So we wait a whole year, Parshas Tetzaveh, before Kisisa, in order to fulfill what Moshe said, Mecheni no mesifrecha asher kasavta. Erase me from the book. So he's erased from the Parsha, but we gave him a whole year before we erase him. That's what Balaturim says. There's another idea that is a moral lesson here. We say, "Achayim v'amovas biyad haloshon." Life and death is really dependent upon the tongue, how a person speaks. So we have always Hilchos Lashon Hara, not to speak negative speech, not negative speech about oneself, and not negative speech about others. But there's another idea, and not to say bad things, not to make bad predictions. Now, in our society, the news media lives on bad predictions. Nothing is good. And if what's good is now, but tomorrow will be no good. And it's a mindset that we have, that it's always going to be bad. It's contrary to Torah, and it's contrary to mental health, and that's why the world is as crazy as it is. And it's plenty crazy. So you have to be careful what you say, because in heaven, so to speak, they record what you said. And what you said, that's what happens. If you say it's not going to be good, it's not going to be good. I mentioned many times, I don't listen to the news except once a day or twice a day at maximum. Not because of the news, but I just need some noise. And I mean, if you take seriously the media, then you got to jump out the window. It'll never be good here. Never. So we find that Moshe said, erase me from the book. So even he said that conditionally, and that if you do forgive them, I'm not erased. Nevertheless, he said, erase me from the book. So they erased him from the parsha this week, because he said it. We find in Tanakh the famous story of Shaul HaMelech, that his father lost a herd of donkeys, and he went to find them, and he couldn't find them, and he came to the the town of Shmuel HaNovi, whom he had never met yet, and he was going to ask the Novi about the donkeys. So he comes into town, and he doesn't know anybody there. He's never seen Shmuel before. So unwittingly, he stops Shmuel at the in the street, and he says to him, "Ayeh Chose, where is the one that can see? Where is the prophet?" So Shmuel says, "Ani Chose, I'm the seer." Fast forward, the Rebbeinu Shalom sends Shmuel to the house of Yishai to find the successor to Shaul, to find Melech Yisrael. And the Tanakh describes there are 7 sons. He takes number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Every one that he takes, the Rebbeinu Shalom says, "No, that's not the one." So he says to heaven, "Why do you embarrass me so? I'm supposed to be the prophet, and I pick everybody that I pick is wrong." So heaven answers him, "What do you want from me? You said you can see, so see. You said you're the Chose." You have to be careful what you say. So in the general vernacular, we always say you should be careful what you wish for, you may get it. But you certainly have to be careful what you say. And that's one of the lessons here. Why Moshe Rabbeinu's name doesn't appear, because he said it. He said it, so heaven said, "Okay, we'll give you what you say." That's an important lesson in life. Not to say not to say negative things. Because they're listening. And everything that is said eventually affects the relationship we have with heaven. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashi Omer Ratzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'zakos Yisrael L'tzich Al-Chiv L'hem Torah Mitzvos Shenemar L'noi Chafei Saman Sitko Yagil Paro Yadir